Hey everyone, Fabian, Empire Build Academy. Let's jump into Duty Generals on Evony, and this is a guide again for the free-to-play. Done the mounted, ranged, siege and ground, also the wall generals, but Duty Generals is one of those that you don't really hear too often spoke about. So let's go straight over to the game now, and I'm going to use the Archer Tower as an example and the Duty General that is in there. If we click on that and go inside, you can see that I have Ban Chao as my super Archer Tower officer, and you can see as well he's bringing buffs there of 180% to that Archer Tower as well. And when we click on Ban Chao and have a look at him, you can see as well he comes with specialities which can also be pretty useful, including enemy troop defense minus 10%. Got another 90% there added to the Archer Tower attack, so that's 270%, and then we get another 100% added, as well as some mounted troop attack debuff as well. And when we go into specialities, you can also see that he's bringing some of that as well. So he's reducing the enemy mounted troop attack by 20%, and he's increasing the ranged troop attack by 20% when he is the Archer Tower officer. You can also see there is some more buffs there in the Ascension stars, the 1, 2, 3 and 4. Haven't gone quite to 5 yet, but again, all adding up. There's a lot of in-city ranged troop and siege machine defense. So you can see there's also some more Archer Tower attack as well as those in-city buffs on Ascension Star 2, and this again is all going to add up. So that's just the Archer Tower guy, and that's Ban Chao. So if we go back over and again just continue having a look at my Duty Generals. So again, when we click into this, you can see I've got some more on the defense. We've got a hospital guy. This is Skanderbeg, and when we click on him, he is also coming with some nice buffs. And again, we've got that enemy troop attack on the second speciality going across there, and also some healing speed as well. But again, going into the Ascensions, you can see there is more in-city buffs being applied for the different Ascension stars. And you can imagine with how many different ones we've got. I've got a trap factory officer, I've got a warehouse officer, I've got an embassy officer. Holy Palace needs to be a little bit lucky on that. I have Trivia Hecate, but the last one there, which is the bunker officer, actually don't have one in there, although to be perfectly honest, not really using that. Another thing to be aware of when you are in these as well is if you go into the eye icon on the side, you will also see some additional buffs that are applied at the different level of the officer. So if your junior Archer Tower officer has defense buffs of 500 and attack buffs of 450, then that Archer Tower attack of 60% will be added. And again, it's going to increase further down so that you can see got a super Archer Tower buff right down there at the bottom, which is again another 180% Archer Tower attack. But in order to do this, your assigned Duty General must have these stats. So you can see here, defense 1350, attack 1350, power 3.1 million. Now, we'll also reiterate that once you've got your general attached and you don't remove him, that will stay there. So the reason I'm saying that is because in terms of that power for them final two, you do need to attach some weapons to gain that power. But as soon as you've gained that power and then you attach the relevant Duty General to the relevant building, you can then remove those weapons and use them on someone else. So that is the way to get those final ones. So again, let's just have a look. 1350 is what I'm looking for both defense and attack. And when I go into Ban Chao, you can see down here that 1350 and 1350 is comfortably met via those two methods. So it'd be those two methods and that power to get this maximized on your Duty General. So again, let's have a look at someone different this time. You may notice as well, some of them are just normal generals. That is because I haven't had the look, or there isn't an option available for a Duty General for that particular building. So warehouse Duty General, haven't seen one, but we're going to go and have a look in a minute where we find them, like we did with the troop generals as well. If we have a look at Trivia Hecate, I'm not quite 100% sure on how that one's done. But again, if we click into here, you can see actually it tells you there, medium Holy Palace officer. You can see here, medium bunker officer. Now, if I want them to be their biggest benefits, then I need to update these. You can see that on this one here, super embassy officer, because I've got the Duty General and their relevant stats to the highest level. And when we click into here, you can see the reason here is because that defense and that attack hasn't reached the relevant benefits for it to go to the next level. So you can see there is a total Duty General amount of 18, and I have 18 attached to all the different ones, including Archer Camp here, John John the First of Portugal, again, Senior Archer Camp Officer. And again, when we click into this, we can see Senior is only bringing me to this level here. And the reason I've probably done that is because I'm not really bothered about those final percentages for the top, special and super, because they're not really coming with anything that's beneficial. Range troop training speed, range troop training capacity, not really that interested in that. So these are all the different ones that you get for the military, including Rally Spot. Rally Spot's a really good one because you can see there, super Rally Spot, we get the march size capacity 30%, march size capacity of 70,000 as well added on. And if we go into Hideyoshi and have a look at the Ascensions, there is some march size increase at the top there as well as in city troops HP going down. So actually this is an area, I'll be honest, this is an area, Hideyoshi, that I really do want to improve myself because of that percentage. Although it's only minimal, it's still all going to add up. So this is something that I will definitely look on future Ascensions of doing. So let's do this quickly and let's just have a look at what the different things are bringing. So you can see all the different buffs. I'm not going to read them out, but again, you can see with the barracks, the archer, the workshop and the stables, the final benefits are troop training, which is again something that I'm not necessarily too bothered about increasing, but what I am intrigued increasing. Let's use Oleg and let's have a look at his Ascensions. And again, you can see the crucial part here is the in-city defense that comes with all of these different duty generals. And again, this is definitely all going to add up. And this is why you should have a particular general that is relevant to that particular building. Yes, you can use any general if you want to get those first stats. So when we go back, if you want these stats, you just have to attach any general. But if you want those additional stats, like Guan, let's have a look at him this time. If you want these additional stats, the Ascension Star additional stats, you need to add the relevant one for that building for these buffs to apply. So you do need to keep an eye on that. So let's go and have a quick look at some of these in the Tavern. Click into Tavern, click into Recruit. You should be getting used to this by now. So we go into Portraits and then we click on the Duty one down at the bottom. You can see there's quite a few in here. There are some that look fantastic and you're like, yes, please give me that as a free to play. But let's be honest, that's not how Evony works. Of course, there will only be a few select ones that you can go and get. So we need to go back into that lovely refresh probability in Tavern. And you can see John of Portugal and Skanderbeg are the only two out of all these wonderful generals that are available. It would be lovely if in future editions of Evony they released a few of these into the Tavern. It would be really, really kind. But I can imagine that's not going to happen anytime soon. So John of Portugal, you'd want him. He's your Archer Camp Officer. That is who you'd go after. And you'd go after Skanderbeg. He is your Hospital Officer. You would definitely want him. So it's a case of just going across here and seeing all the refresh probabilities. John Adams would not be available. In Japan, we would only have Toyotomi Hideyoshi, who is the Rally Spot Officer. So that is what you would want for there. Korea, I believe both of these are available. They are. Guan is for your workshop, your siege workshop, and Yulji is for the academy. Again, let's just have a quick glance on some of the Ascension Star buffs. You will notice there is increasing research speed by 20%, but there's also a lot of in-city down there as well. And that's what these duty generals tend to come with, is that additional buff. In China, there is a couple, but only Bancheo is the one of interest to the free-to-play. And again, I've showed you quite a lot about Bancheo and what he brings. So again, you would want him as your Archer Tower Officer. In Russia, there is only two. It's Menshikov and Oleg. Menshikov is your Keep Officer and Oleg is for your Stables. And again, you can click on the Ascensions and see what kind of in-city buffs he also brings as well. And we're getting close to the end. Arabia, we've got Abd al-Rahman. And if we click on him, he is a barracks or ground troop officer. And then finally in others, it is only Askia who is available, and he is the trap factory officer, who again comes with additional buffs. So that is what you need to make sure, that all those different ones that I've just showed you all the way across here, that you've got at least the first copy. That's the main thing. Just get that first copy. So that is what you need to do, is make sure all your buildings have the relevant duty general attached, so that you can then start thinking about Ascensions as you go further down the line. And like I say, there isn't any that you wouldn't have. You would literally have all of them that are available via that refresh probability in Tavern. So work your way across, go into Europe, click the refresh. There's 2 in here, John of Portugal, Skanderbeg, get them attached. American wasn't available. Toyotomi Hideyoshi is quite crucial actually, because he comes with all that March size buff as well, especially if you are free to play. And that's what you need to do. And then again, when you then check this out and we go into Duty Generals, you can see all of my different ones here and also their Ascension buffs that I've got. So I've got 4-star, 4-star, 4-star. There's a few of these that I could probably start working on, which I will do, the ones that are 2-star. And doing the Ascension stars is going to be one of those that is quite a long process over the period of time that you are doing this. But again, getting all of them done. Trivia, never going to see another copy of it, probably not. I got from a random spin on some fortune event or something like that Evony played, and because of that she is my Holy Palace officer. But you can see as well with the premium versions, they really do come with some decent stuff in relation to that. And in fact, actually, while I'm here, I will just show you an example of a premium Duty General officer. So if we're going to recruit, we're going to portraits, and this time we'll click on duty, but this time we're going to have a look at one that is pretty cool. Otto the Great increases in-city siege machine attack by 30%, reduces enemy range troop attack by 15%. So you can imagine that when you are getting this enemy troop defense, these are the ones that all come with the enemy, and these are the ones that the big powerful spenders all have on their buildings. And Maurice of Nassau, what does he come with? He comes with reducing enemy range troop attack again by 15%. So these are pretty decent, but like I say, it's something I'm never going to see on my account, unfortunately. But that is an example of that. Every building, duty, must be attached. You need them all there. There is 18 in total. There isn't 18 available actually in the Tavern. When we go back into this, I just want to quickly count how many are available. So there is 18 building Duty Generals that we can add. Only 10 of those 18 are actually available in the Tavern. And the last thing to talk about before I go is one of these Duty Generals. Let's just click on this Trap Factory one. Specialities, if we go into them and just have a glance on the second one, which tends to be the good stuff. This is death into survival rate is 1%. I don't think there's any debuffs on this particular one. There isn't. I'm just intrigued as to Toyotomi. Let's have a look at specialities on this one. And this is ranged and siege machine attack, so we're not too fussed about that. March size capacity is available on the third one and will also be available on the fourth one. So if you're looking for some March size capacity, there is some additional there with Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Okay, the last one we want to check is Bancheo. Let's have a look at the specialities on this. You can see I've already got these maxed, probably before I knew what I was actually doing. Ground troop attack, probably didn't need to spend it on that. Enemy troop defense, so there's a little bit of debuff there, and archer tower attack on the final 2. So that is it. That's the specialities for those Duty Generals. Like I say, 10 out of 18. Go and get those Duty Generals, go and get them added to your buildings, and then also look at getting them to the relevant level that they need to be via this method here. And again, if you click on the I information, it will tell you what you need for all of the different levels of that particular officer and what you need to get that done. So Super Keeper Officer, duty requirements, you need the politics and leadership on these ones at 1450, and then also power of 3.3 million, which you can attach some weapons, attach them to the relevant building, and then you can take that equipment off and use it on someone else, and that will give you an additional construction speed 30%, training capacity 70%. That is it for this particular video. If there's anything I've missed or there's anything that I said incorrect, then please do let me know in the comments so that I and other people can read. This is the kind of content you enjoy, then please do consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you in another video very soon. Thanks for watching.